I am Dr. Richard Harris. I run the hospitalist group at Metro South Hospital. When Empower came around, it changed the whole dynamic. I noticed that, number one, I get here first thing in the morning and I see everybody. Actually, let me back up. I get here at 6 in the morning. I go through each and every one of my patients on the computer. I can review, and this takes me only about 15 to 20 minutes. That's for about 30 patients. I will review what the other physicians have written about them. Like at the end of the day yesterday, I'll review any of the late tests that were done, any early morning blood tests that are done. They're all on the computer. It's all on Empower. So basically, I will sit down at a desk, take about 20 minutes, and go through each one of my patients. Sometimes there's a new patient that will have come in that has not been seen yet, and I'm going to see them soon. But I can quickly go in, look at their past medical history, their medications, their lab, their radiographic testing, and see what the ER wrote about them. So with that armament, I then get up and see everybody in the hospital. And I try to see them as quickly as I can without sitting down and charting. Unless it's an emergency case, of course. But for the most part, for all my stable patients, I will go around to each and every floor and I'll see all of them. And that usually takes me about an hour and a half to 2 hours, during which I will identify the ones I think can go home, and I will identify the ones that need more immediate attention. And if orders need to be done immediately as I'm running on a patient, I'll just quickly sit down and put the order in at the computer instead of writing my whole note, and just move on. So then after 2 hours into my day, I've pretty much seen everybody, reviewed most of the orders from other physicians, other tests that have been done, and then I can go through and get my discharges done first. See, part of my priority is not to get paged. So as soon as I get these discharges done, there's a much higher likelihood that I will not get paged from case management to get those people discharged. So it's nice to get the discharges done first. Plus, administration likes it. It helps with the throughput at the hospital. It allows me to get my discharges out of the way first, and then I can start charting on all my other patients. So I will then get calls throughout the day, and I'll get new patients throughout the day. I can quickly go see those patients and then sit down and finish my Empower charting. I am not impeded by patients going for tests. I am not impeded looking for a chart. I can't tell you how many times in the past I spent just going to a floor and just trying to find the chart on a patient. It took forever. Physical therapy has the chart. Nutrition has the chart. Doctor so-and-so has the chart. And then it would delay me to no end. I don't have those delays right now. I'm able to get through my charts, see everybody. It's another reason why I try to see my patients immediately, so that I can see them before they go off to any studies or tests. But again, I'm not impeded by not being able to find their chart or having them at tests. And so Empower has made my life so much more efficient. My rounding is done so much faster, so much quicker in the day. Many times I will tend to have to go back to check on people later in the day after some certain tests. It's very easy to add a second note. My life as a hospitalist has become so much more simpler than it was prior to Empower. One of the major points of Empower is to prevent reiteration of the facts, reiteration of the past medical history. It prevents the physician from doing a lot of the secretarial work that you need to. For instance, you come in, the patient's being admitted to the hospital, already on Empower. They have populated, the secretaries and the nurses have populated the home medications, the past medical history, social history, a lot of these things. Now, it is a doctor's responsibility to make sure that those items are correct. And when you meet with a patient, you go through all these items, but they're already typed up and already on Empower. So I don't have to go back and go through a lot of undiscovered past medical history because it's already there on Empower. So there's not a lot of needless repetition in terms of charting. It is well set up too in a kind of a SOAP note format, so that you put a subjective in, you have a physical exam in there, and then you have everything based on your history and physical. Your assessment and plan. It helps with your billing because you're putting in plans based on your assessments. So it reinforces why you're getting a test that you're getting, because, for instance, acute CVA plan, MRI of the brain. It's more intuitive, and it's intuitive from a physician's standpoint. The other thing I wanted to touch base on with this as well is my discharges are so much easier. Everything's pretty much set up to make a discharge easy. I don't know what the general experiences are from other physicians, but throughout my career, one of the hardest parts of being a hospitalist is the tediousness of doing a discharge, getting people discharged, writing up patient instructions, writing out prescriptions, writing out med reconciliation forms, making sure everything's set up for a follow-up visit. It just can go on, and the hardest part of a hospitalization sometimes is discharge. Mm-hmm. With Empower, it is incredibly easy. You basically hit a few buttons, tell them which medications you want, and discharge. You do have to enter in a discharge diet, discharge follow-up with which doctors, but it automatically puts in the contact information, the phone numbers and everything. Activity upon discharge. You can automatically put certain patient instructions, like post-cardiac catheterization instructions set. Those automatically get printed out and go to the patient. It automatically prints out the discharge medications in electronic format that will go to the pharmacy. So it's all done in one fell swoop. You have your discharge instructions to the patient, you have your discharge medical reconciliation form, you have your discharge prescriptions, and it's all done because you set up a few little clicks. And the other wonderful thing about that part too, it also automatically sets up a discharge summary based on all that information that you gave. So you automatically have a discharge summary that is created with the discharge diagnosis, discharge medications, follow-up, diet, activity, all the stuff you really need. And then I add a line or two about the the hospital course. So I can't tell you how great my life has become lately, because I don't spend as much time in medical records. It's all done immediately. I've been amazed on how quickly people have embraced the Empower system here at the hospital and how much it's made their life easier.